Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're building a two-story apartment for a single mom that is very successful. Now, as you can see, we started in the middle of the build, kind of. I already have walls down and stairs, and that's because I struggled so hard on the layout, and I just wanted to show you guys the end of it and how I got to my point. Now this is a very long video, just beware, it's going to be about half an hour, so you might want to put this on 2x speed if you don't like waiting that long, or you can just listen to my, I'm not sure if it's very soothing voice, but whichever floats your boat, as long as you watch my video, because that would make me very happy. Now, my first idea for this was I wanted a loft. I knew I wanted a loft. I wanted it to look good, and I wanted the bedroom to not be in a separate room. But then I realized this is a massive apartment, and I had so many extra rooms. I just decided to make 2 kids' rooms for 3 kids, 2 twins that my backstory says maybe adopted, not exactly like their mom. And then so those 2 twins are like kids, child age. And then the third one is a teenager who is into a lot of the stuff her mom is into, like interior designing, more like the photo picture part. But I was kind of struggling. This build was over the course of 4 days and 4 hours. So I was having a big difficulty. I was in a stump. I had all this new stuff to work with, and I didn't really know what to do. I'm pretty sure I used every single item from this pack, besides some of the shelves maybe, and one of the kitchen sets. But I like this pack. It's my favorite pack, and so I'm going to be doing more of these kinds of builds in the future. I assume that she was an interior designer, but I don't want to call this video Interior Designer's Home because I just posted a video about that for my Let's Play, and I don't really want to name it the same thing, so it's just Successful Single Mom Apartment. But right now we're making the bedroom because I thought it would give me a way to work off the personality. And this apartment, you'll see, is extremely monochromatic. Besides some accents here and there of pink and blue. There's one nook that's cotton candy, and then there's tiny objects that are pink and blue. Otherwise, this place is yellow. I guess besides the kids' rooms. Now, I decided to make the walls gray. Just because I wanted to do white, but it seemed too bright. I wanted to keep it kind of dark, but we've got light wood tones for most of the furniture, and then dark wood tones for the floor to add that contrast so it doesn't all blend in. Now, I almost forgot about the patio, so later on you'll see me move that painting to one of the other walls and add a patio door there. And the patio, I think, ends up looking really nice. I definitely think that this was a really successful person. She has thousands and thousands, maybe even close to $1 million in real world money. So she's rich. She has all the luxurious items. Well, not all of the luxurious items, but she has good stuff. We're just adding in the doors. Now, the bathroom was the second thing that really caught me off guard. This one, and I go through a lot of different phases. I really wanted there to be a bathtub and a shower in both bathrooms, but the first one ends up just being a half bath, and it ends up shifting to a different part of the room. And I wanted this to be an open floor plan like I always do, but it ends up actually being kind of closed off, with archways between the rooms, and that's because of the living room, how I set it up, and I think it still ends up looking really good. It's like a big couch sectional kind of thing. But right here you can see me struggling with the shower. I want to add like dividers and stuff. But I just could not find a good layout that fit. And I think one bummer that came with the Dream Home Decorator pack is it didn't come with a shower. And every like bathroom that has a shower, well, every bathroom that has a bath often has a shower. So now we don't really have anything to match, which is a bummer. But so I just go with the Selva Dorada theme for the second bathroom that's upstairs. But you see I'm moving this room into the middle of the room, and it's actually going to scoot over 2 more tiles to the right. I wanted to make it originally have the couch like be 5 tiles long or 4 tiles, but that ends up being too big, and I don't know what to put in between because there are no small cabinets that can fit there, really. So I just end up making it 3 tiles long and adding a single chair across the side. You'll see it eventually. Now, one thing I do really love with this pack is the tiny coffee tables. I'm not going to lie, before this pack, I would never put coffee tables in my builds. It would just be a couch, a rug, and a TV because I just feel like all of the coffee tables were way too big, and they had no business being that big. They also didn't have many generic ones, but this Dream Home Decorator, I think it's kind of simplistic, kind of not, and it's like smooth, and there are no crazy patterns, but the bathroom, I'm just trying to figure out how to set it back up. So this build is like, honestly, I had to go back and change so many things. I was bouncing around from floor to floor. Now I haven't seen many builds been done on this apartment. It's 701 Zenview, which is one of the two-story apartments. And I haven't seen many builds for this specific apartment. And I just want to try it out. This is where I add like the closed off portion, and honestly, that console thing was giving me a lot of crap. And later I realized apparently it had snapped to the coffee table, which is why it was being such a pain to move around. And of course I used some platforms. In this build I raised everything except the entryway up by 1 on the bottom floor. Just to add like a nice step up when you're leaving the entryway. And the entryway turns out pretty good. It adds some shoe clutter and this really, really nice ottoman. I'm not gonna lie. I have this clothing rack, although I size it down, which means I can't add clothes on top. But I'm thinking like it's where you put your coats, and then the shoes go below and stuff like that. And I sized the like tennis shoes down only because I assumed that was for the 2 boys. I don't really want to stereotype, but I assumed that the 2 girls often wore heels because they liked that kind of thing. I'm not saying all girls have to like that kind of thing because, I'm a girl. I hate that. I really, really want to add a chandelier to show their wealth, but I just feel like none of them fit, and of course you saw that shadow. It was disgusting. But we're moving on to the dining table. This one came together the dining room. This one came together pretty easily, besides maybe the placement of the table. I put the chair, the high chair, away from the table because I just thought that looked better. I want it to be easy to walk around the table on both ends, and I had this fruit bowl. I went scrolling for like decorations and clutter for so long, and I used this Snowy Escape rug. Honestly, this is one of my new favorite rugs. It looks so good, especially sized up, and it's like the perfect size. But yeah, and we add more of these paintings. We didn't get many paintings from Dream Home Decorator, but this is one of my favorites. just because it's so geometric, and we add like 2 lights in the entry room. You see like the blue accents now and the pink. There's a little bit of pink. And we had some toys for the toddler. Now I don't end up actually putting a toddler in, which was kind of dumb of me. I'm assuming like maybe she's expecting or something. Or I guess, yeah, maybe it's just from the 2 boys, like they were just recently aged up. So she just hasn't gotten rid of it. I didn't really go back to check on that, so I kind of missed that part, but it's fine. This is like you see me making the kitchen, and I'm only putting in like these kinds of things. And I heard from like Deligracy or something that's called the waiter's kitchen or something, where you put in like the utilities, not the utilities, the like appliances that are smaller. So I added a a coffee machine, a microwave, and a dishwasher. And then I moved to this kitchen, and I really wanted to add like these bar stools. I think I definitely wanted to put them in the end, like after I figured out the kitchen, but I don't know if I did or not. It's been a while since I built this. I wanted to get this video released on the weekend of the right of the last week. I don't really remember the dates, and I don't know when I'm posting this. But I wanted to post it last week, Sunday, Saturday, but I ended up spending a lot of time with my parents and family because it was Father's Day, and school hasn't been out for long, so we haven't gotten a lot of time to hang as a family. So we did that instead of working on my video. So it's been a while since I've recorded this. That was a long tangent. But I also use a little bit of Snowy Escape. That is also really good pack furniture-wise. I just like that style, as well as like the tiny home living and eco lifestyle. Now this is the little nook that is in the screenshot. That's for the thumbnail. And I really like this nook. I think it looks the best. I add another nook somewhere else. I think nooks are just good looking, but this was more for the mom. I know she probably wouldn't be able to duck her head below those stairs, but I thought it looked so cute. And she could just sit there or lay there and work on her mood boards and stuff. Now, this landing gave me a heck of problems, like that the shadow and the footing, what's it called? The stuff at the bottom of the wall on the second floor. I could not for the life of me find a gray that matched, and I just didn't want that like white bit hanging down. So I ended up spending a bunch of money to and to cover it up. And you just saw me try to change the walls up for white, and you could probably see it looked so bright, especially with the yellow. But I end up hanging like these kinds of things to cover the wall. I think I end up using that stucco in the end, but the curtains can also cover that mostly. And I end up adding these, but they're unnecessary. Only the first row was needed in the end, but we ended up doing that. And it's just to like cover the wall, I guess. Oh, I do end up going back to the normal wall. Like I said, I haven't like seen this video in a while. But we added a nice mirror here at the landing and fixed the lighting in that bathroom because it was looking kind of dark. Take a break. I must have tried to pause OBS and it not pause because it left the pause there. But you see how I placed that coffee machine? I don't remember exactly which YouTuber like showed me that or something. It was either Lil Simsy, Deligracy, or I can't think of it. Whatever. But one of those three, if I can remember the third one, showed like their audience that trick, and you put like the coffee machine on an island and then size the island down, and then you can replace the coffee machine, because you can't size the counters down, but you can size the islands down, which is pretty handy. And because I've always been like upset about how you can't move the coffee machine where you want. Now my second problem in the kitchen was definitely what to put behind this, because I didn't want it to just be blank because I thought it looked bad. So I ended up using this cutting board thing from Cool Kitchen Stuff, and this dish rack thing. And I think it ends up looking good. I also struggle a lot with these books. I go through the catalogs just to find something to put, something to cover that bottom, because the bottom of the books were hanging out. And none of the shelves fit, so I had to size it down and move it around, and it was just a pain in my butt. Like, this was probably the longest taking thing in this speed build, like size-wise. Because it's so small, it's such a small detail. But I spent so long in it because I'm like, I want this now. Now. I was needy. I had this little cupboard, move the boxes around, and add this really little treat thing from Get Together. I think it's adorable, but it doesn't fit in most builds, which makes me sad. But now we're moving back upstairs, and I think I work on the teens room next. Now this is a more green themed room. I go to a lighter color, but it goes back to the dark with the purple and the green in the end. And I'm sorry that the rooms are so dark. I like putting like normal lighting in first so that I don't forget like lamps and stuff, and then I do the overhead light. I really want to use that tent. I think that's the one item in the Dream Home Decorator pack that I don't use, just because I couldn't find a good space for it. So I end up making that room for a child instead of a toddler. But we'll get there when we get there. Now, I was thinking for this person, they definitely loved like picture taking, anything on devices, and they definitely liked like the same kind of items that her mom did, or like what are they called, like furniture. I don't know why that took me so long. And she also has a wardrobe. I end up scooting this wall in. Now the one thing one of the things I don't like about this pack is with the modular furniture, if you put it in a 1x1 space like that, that both sides will clip into the wall, and I just think it looks so bad. So I end up scooting that wall forward and then separating the wardrobe from the wall so it didn't do that. I think this is what it ends up looking like. I used more curved furniture, which I don't end up using anywhere else in this build, because I just thought the blocky stuff was a little more better. That does make sense. A little better. Now, of course, this is as much a nice looking room as it is a cluttered room. And I think the amount of clutter for this room is half decent. I add a mirror from Dream Home Decorator, and then next to the door, which I personally think is the best part of this room, is the there's a table from Snowy Escape to the left of the door. It's a pretty big table, but it's meant to be like, okay, you walk in the room and you can set your stuff down there. She has like shoes beneath it. She has like magazines on it, and I'm assuming that's where you would put any kind of clutter, like keys or something. And a bonsai tree. I definitely think that she enjoyed the Japanese culture a little bit as well, because of how much stuff from Snowy Escape is in her room. Not that you can't have Snowy Escape, that you can have Snowy Escape. Oh, I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, she's definitely into maybe a little more Japanese culture. but we got like the clutter. I also scroll through for so long looking for a backpack because somehow I was just missing it every single time I scrolled through. So, but I eventually find it. Oh, yawn. I eventually find it, and I put it there. I make it like blue. There weren't really colors to match, but I move on to the bathroom, and this isn't my favorite part of the house. This is probably one of my least favorite, but it does look kind of good. Not my taste. It ends up being Selva Dorada themed, like I said at like the beginning of the speed build, because there was no matching shower for the bathtub, and that really annoys me. So I end up making the walls like the tile thing with the stucco. No, I like making where it has like layers. There's like normal stucco, half covered with tile stucco, and then 3/4 covered with tile stucco. I think that kind of transition works well. The tile next to the bathtub and at the entrance of the shower, and the shower has 3/4 tile. Just because that's a pretty realistic thing. But this bathroom isn't very cluttered. It's kind of clean. We've got some towels. Bathrooms are probably one of my least favorite rooms to decorate. Because I always think it's so bland, so hard to decorate it up. And although there are a lot of options, it also feels like there aren't. Because like, when you first get packs, you'll set like standards like, oh, I hate my first pest stuff, or oh, I love seasons, and then that's the only thing you'll use. So that gets kind of tough, and it makes it feel so much more constricted. Now I'm working on this hallway, and you'll see the big empty space to the right of the bed area, and that room ended up coming together pretty quickly, but I just kept putting it off because I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. What am I gonna do? But I end up adding this runner, and then I think I go to that area. Nope, I move on to, wait, hold up. I move on to the kids' room. Now this area took me a kind of long time to decide what I wanted, but it ends up being, I originally wanted it to be for a little boy, probably a little boy, who loved space. I just could not find enough space decoration, and I know it's out there, I just didn't have the energy. My parents kept pulling me over to do stuff, so I kept going back and forth. I would leave my computer for 20 minutes and then forget what I was doing, and I just didn't have the energy to go looking. So that corner where the tent is ends up being a little area for a doggy. Now don't worry, you might be saying where's the food bowl? Where's the bed? And I'm saying it was a last minute addition, and I assumed that the mom said, okay, if you can show me that you are responsible with this, you can get a different kind of animal, when Farmland comes out or something, or you can do other things. I don't really know, but something with responsibility. So they got a dog, and everything it needs is in their room. But what ends up this room becoming, I can't talk. What this room ends up becoming is a blue and yellow matchy room. So you could see both sets of kids matches with their mom in one way. In the boys' way, it's the color of the yellow, but in the girls' way, it's the interior decorator kind of thing. I also envisioned them loving the Sims version of Pokemon. I don't remember exactly what it's called. I wanted to add a little play thing, but for them, where you can play that game, but I honestly didn't have the space. And you can see I'm trying to figure out where to put it, and I put the thing there, and I'm like, this is a perfect place to put the dog stuff. I add a gate. I assumed this was a puppy, And with my puppy, who is currently basking in the sun like an idiot, she looks really goofy right now, but we have our own pen for her. And I wanted to put like the mats down, the blue ones, because it looked like pee pads, kind of like mine. I have like blue pee pads where I can put down for potty training, and I originally wanted to put those down, but I assumed that wasn't necessary. They didn't have that young of a puppy, and I add these cabinets. Also for taking care of the puppy, I assumed it had like food and more toys and more pee pads or something like that in them. So that's where all the stuff was. And I end up moving the counters to the other side of the wall because I realized that's where the gate is. So I just like flip-flopped the room. I had these cute paw prints, and that's mostly it for this room. Like, it's still going, but I had a Roomba, of course, to clean up any dog fur. Also, for those of you commenting on the rug in the carpet room, that is actually pretty common. A lot of people put carpets on rugs on carpet rooms. But anyway, it's also for my first pet stuff, but it's not that important if you get this like house build thing without my first pet stuff. My first pet stuff. I think that'll be fine. I'm sorry if my like talking is turning into gibberish. This is a 30-minute speed build, and I can't speak for that long. But this is where the desk thing comes in play. I wanted there to be a nice looking workspace. I lay out all the desks I have for possibilities, and I know that I want to put this here, but I'm like, what do I do with the rest of the space? So I end up adding a second desk, but like putting it at a different angle. So you'll see eventually. Also, I add these rugs. A while ago, I saw this used in someone's build, and it's honestly ingenious. You'd never think to combine rugs, but it's just so simple, and you honestly have so many combinations. But we have a yellow work area, of course, and I wanted to add like bookshelves. I wanted there to be a reading area, and there will be one, just not exactly where you see right now. I add this workbench, but I'm like, that just looks like so weird because it's all on the same wall. It's all so linear. So I end up putting it up on this wall, and that's the little nook I was talking about. Now, in the end result, the nook might be hard to get to for your Sims. It might not be. It honestly probably isn't very functional. Very functional. But it looks nice. I swapped the wall that those bookshelves are on to the left wall, and add like cubbies next to it. I just wanted it to be. I wanted it to be snug and like a nice area where you can chillax, because you need that place in a house where if you're all worked up, you need to just relax, relieve your stress. But this is like the cotton candy area. It's mostly pink and blue, and I add these two shelves, pink and blue, and the blue rug. So this is like the room that's different, and I think that the mom just wanted to shake things up because, like me, she's a good interior designer. But I don't want to brag. Just kidding. I consider myself average. I am not as good as. The name just came to me. Simlisy. Simlisy is the one I might have gotten the coffee machine idea from. But Simlisy is such a good builder. Like, props to her. She definitely does inspire me. I get some of my ideas from her. And I'll probably have, if I can remember, I'll have her channel linked in the description. Just because she is so amazing. And I do recommend that if you like my stuff and like this long video kind of thing, you might want to definitely check her out because she is a lot better than me, and she also likes apartments. I have this rug thing in the bathroom too. and I'm just doing like double checks over everything, and this is where I find the patio. Like, how in the world do I forget a patio? But I originally wanted to make it super green and lush, and I take up everybody else's porch as inspiration. But I end up saying, screw that, screw EA's crappy building. Sorry, EA. We all know it's true. We're gonna make our place look different. We're gonna add a couch, a bench, a big grill, a trash can, like all the things you need. And I originally wanted to add these sectional couches, the other kind, but I just think that it matched too well, if you want to put it that way, so I end up putting these two. And this is where I definitely tie in the blue, pink, and yellow a lot more. And I add some nice speakers, definitely for a good party. This is like a calm party area where you definitely have people over, but it'd be a lot more relaxing, not as ravey. We got like wind chimes and this like classic potted plant. Like, I don't know why, but when I saw that, I'm like, yes, I have to have that. That is so common. I'm not even sure if it is. Anyway, guys, this is the end of the speed builds. Please stick around for the screenshots. I do hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.